Welcome back everyone. Today we're going to be performing a battery change in a G Shock GA-200SH, and this is the 5229 module. Let's get right into it. Starting off with what we're going to need a small Phillips head screwdriver, ideally metal tweezers, but if you don't have metal tweezers you can just use a metal paper clip, and our replacement battery, which is a CR1220. Before we begin, I wanted to quickly note we do not have to remove our rubber straps to perform this battery change, but I'm going to go ahead and remove them just so you guys can see what I'm doing a little bit easier. So the first thing we're going to want to do is remove our 4 case back screws and set them aside for later. Now with our case back screws removed, we can go ahead and lift our case back right off. And don't worry, sometimes the rubber gasket will come off stuck to the case back. We'll reinstall everything when we're reassembling the watch. Now that we're inside the watch, the first thing we need to do is remove this plastic retaining clip. But as we can see, there's metal tabs on each side that are holding it down. So we'll simply bend those up and out of the way. And then we'll grab our tweezers, come right under that clip, and lift straight out. And now we can set that aside for later. And now with that clip out of the way, we can lift our module here, and we can see that this is the latch that's holding our battery in place. So this is where we're going to want to have those tweezers or that paper clip. We're going to want to come behind the latch and pull out towards us. That'll unlatch our battery housing. Then we can grab that old battery, take it out and get rid of it. Now we can come in with our new battery. Again, this is a CR1220. We're simply going to drop it right in place there and press the latch down. You'll usually hear it click, and now our new battery is installed. Now at this point I would advise reinstalling that plastic retaining clip. That's simply going to make it so that this module doesn't have any possibility of shifting around on us and getting crooked. So we simply want to match our shape. As we can see, there's a little indent cut out here. That's where this metal tab that's sticking up is going to go. We'll simply drop it right in place and it'll slide down, and now our module will stay secure. So now we're ready to perform our AC reset. This is where having those metal tweezers will come in handy, but if you're using a metal paper clip, you're simply going to bend it into an arch. You just want to have 2 metal points of contact. So as we can see on our module, there's a little indication here, AC, and it's pointing into this hole. There's a little gold tab at the bottom of the hole, and there's a circle here as well with a little negative icon next to it. So what we simply want to do is contact one end of our metal tweezer or that paper clip to that gold panel at the bottom of that hole, and the other end to this metal on our module, and hold it for about 2 seconds. Now to ensure that our module has been properly reset, what I'd always advise is holding a finger over this spring and this spring here. We don't want to lose these springs because these are important for the sound of our watch. I'll go ahead and flip my watch over, and we should see it start flashing sub. So that means that our module has been reset to factory defaults, and we can begin to reassemble our watch. So in case you haven't yet, the first thing we're going to want to do is simply bend those metal tabs back down over our retaining clip. Next, we want to reinstall our case back gasket. So this is simply a circle, nice and easy. We're simply going to drop it right into the groove on our case back, and then I'll usually use my tweezers, make any fine adjustments if needed. We just want to make sure that our gasket is perfectly seated in that groove. Next, we're going to want to reinstall our case back. So we simply want to remember that this metal tab that sticks up indicates the upper portion of our watch. We just want to pay note and make sure that our Casio and G Shock logos are properly oriented. So we'll drop our case back right in place, and you'll feel it kind of fall right in between the groove there. Now we just need to reinstall our 4 case back screws. What I typically will do is just hold a finger on the case back, drop my 4 screws in, just get them started, and now all that's left to do is snug them up. And remember, they don't need to be super tight, just nice and snug. Now I'm going to go ahead and reinstall my straps real quick, and then I'll meet you guys at the final step. Our final step is going to be to recalibrate our analog display. That way when we set the time, our hands will also display the correct time. So depending on how fast you worked, you may still be flashing sub, But if you're not, you're simply going to press and hold our forward button. You'll hear the watch beep, and now we'll see that sub start flashing again. So now we're controlling this small sub dial. We can only advance it one at a time using our forward button, but we want it to be pointing straight up at 50. Once that's properly aligned, we're going to press mode, and now we'll see 000. So this means that we want to align our hour and minute hands to exactly 12 o'clock, and this we can go forward and reverse. So once those are aligned, we'll simply press adjust, and now when we set the time, our analog display will also display the correct time as well. And that's all there is to it. As we can see, all of our modes cycle properly. If we press and hold adjust, we can hear the watch beep, so our beep is still working. And our backlight is working, though it may be a little challenging to see. So our watch is completely ready to wear again. Thank you guys so much for joining me in this quick battery changing tutorial. I really hope that it was clear and helpful. If you have any questions for me, please be sure to leave them down below in the comments. And if you're interested in more tutorials and watch-related content, please do consider subscribing. I cover a wide range of G Shock, Baby G, and Casio products, so please stay tuned for more. Thanks everyone.